Views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here from Match 2025 Day 1. It's been a long day so far, but we've got many more miles to walk.
That's right, man. I think, let's see, what am I at right now? I'm at 10 miles so far, 7 miles so far for the day, man. It's absolutely amazing.
And you got to think, we're only like halfway through the day so far. So we might be last year's record of 30 miles.
37.
Yeah, stand corrected.
Yeah, 37.
Gentlemen, how has Matt's been treating y'all so far?
Fantastic. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been here since Saturday, so I've got a lot of bruised knuckles, skin off everywhere, crawling around under a truck trying to get it clean for the show. So I haven't done the miles, but what miles I've done have been very hard.
Absolutely. The Grumpy Pete, driven by the Grumpy Dean.
I'm just happy to be with like famous people. Dean's on the front page of the Matt's what is that? The program?
Yeah,
is that what you call it? Magazine. So
That
Dean,
it?
it was really cool. It's really cool.
I had
being
no
next to that
idea.
guy.
I'm slightly embarrassed
Yeah.
because I'm a hardwired introvert. I'm a real introvert. I guess it's sort of way out of my comfort zone.
How many magazines have you signed so far?
Well, Trey just wanted me to sign this one, so I think one.
Okay. Well, if you're here, ladies and gentlemen, come check out booth. What is it again?
38502, 38502. We are right across the way from the Kentucky State Popo. I mean DOT. So yeah,
They're our friends.
If you find them, you're gonna find us. And Freight Movement is right next to us as well. So come see us. We're gonna be here the whole weekend. But we have got starting today with John. I've done many a time. I've done Jeff.
All right, I'll ask him the question.
Yeah, hey,
I'm just gonna stop.
Pedro, I've been called worse, man.
Yeah,
that's all right.
You're
It's
just John.
the industry. You can call me John. No, I don't want to be associated with a John.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
Like,
it
okay.
could be a good John though.
Well,
You never
that's
know.
yeah, it could be.
He's done.
You can call me Jack, maybe.
His name now is Jeff John. That's it. Jeff John. It's in there. We're here with Jeff.
You mean
there
John,
go.
right?
Yeah, Jeff. There you go.
That's right. Well, Jeff. Before we got on the show today, you were telling us about your past, and all your history and logistics. So if you want to keep a little brief on that, give us a little background and let's go from there and let's dig into power loop.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. It's always good to hear people understand that I talk too much, so I'll try to abbreviate it. Yeah, my name is Jeff Resch. I work for Uber Freight, and I'm part of the Power Loop division. And what we do is we have trailer assets, and it's kind of like Uber, right? So like, let's say you're the person looking for an Uber ride. So like you go on the app and say, hey, I need to move myself from A to B. We do that same thing with the trailers. So we're one of the things that we're doing this week is we're rolling out our dedicated tour program. So basically we provide the trailer in a power only environment. We hook it up with an AI optimization tool, and basically we're running the Uber Freight network and optimizing for the owner operators to get them the highest rate per mile, highest revenue, and really kind of work on reducing empty miles. So really exciting innovations happening in the space. I know there's some other people working on some things that are somewhat similar,
Right.
but with the tech, it's being in the trucking industry. I've been in the trucking industry since 1996, so had basically every single role through the organization. So very exciting, and finally, thank you for having me on the program.
Absolutely.
Isn't it exciting? You went through the digital age, 2007.
Yeah.
So you've seen the full spectrum of analog all the way through to digital for owner operators.
And it's not all, it's not all good.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, it's been crazy. So
I think the cool thing with what you're doing though is you don't have to bang around 48 states making mistakes to learn about the freight market. You essentially have a lot of that intelligence already built into your data analytics, and then the way you feed it to drivers through your load board process, through the dispatch process.
Yeah, and it's only going to get better. With the buzzword is AI. Like AI is a tool. If it can help us make better appointments, if it can help us optimize trucks, if it can help us get drivers home when they want to get home, and then if drivers want to run local or if they want long haul, it helps. And one of the things one of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be releasing an app that allows the drivers to kind of self-serve with optimization. So like every 15 minutes, the whole entire Uber Freight network optimizes, which is cool in itself. But imagine being a driver. You wake up in the morning, what do? You look at your phone. Kind of like DAT, right? You wake up, an hour from now, you go get breakfast. What do? You look at your phone. So like a planner at an organization, maybe you look at it twice a day, to try to cover a driver. But if you can enable an owner operator to look at this 24 hours a day, they're probably going to find the best rate, the best miles, the best utilization, right? Really, really exciting stuff. And then you augment that with AI, the new AI technologies that are coming out.
This really explains why freight markets change so quickly, is the proliferation of technology and the frequency of data. It enables people. I think the market moves much faster now than it ever has before. That's why we're seeing, I think, market cycles have a lot more volatility. Like the last cycle during the pandemic's a bit longer for obvious reasons, but there's been a lot more volatility on the way up and then on the way down. Like they're getting deeper and higher. So the rapid swing in the market is higher. And I've sort of theorized, and I think you're proving that the technology that people have enables them to be more responsive to market changes at even an hourly level. Whereas, when I was driving, it was more the freight flow over the course of a week that you might get your head around a day of week. Here we're talking about changes in the market hour.
Yeah, it's I like that you're talking about the changes in the market and using the data and information for everyone to be able to make choices decisions and choices faster. I actually had a conversation with some carriers that I'm looking to run a lane for me, and they were talking, hey, what's the rate that you're doing for these lanes, and can we lock it in for X amount of time? And I said, well, we could. I said, but this lane is a real volatile lane. I was like, the rate, what it is now, I was like, it's going to spike up here in about 2 months. I said, and you're going to be mad when I've locked you in at $2.30 a mile, and you hear that your buddy is running the same lane from a person down the street for $2.75 a mile. And those are those things that are helping them make those decisions is having that access to that data and the technology giving it to us quicker.
I think these truck drivers these days are much smarter because of the technology, right? So it's not like what I call in Australia the bush telegraph. It's truck stop talk, what's hot, what's not, because you get a lot of misdirection too. People who don't want you to know what's hot and what's not. So this way, you've actually got fairly objective data at your disposal at a very high frequency. I think it just makes us all much smarter.
Right. So, gentlemen, what bringing up AI, what areas do you feel AI is going to most support and help the growth of this industry and market regulations in the sense of, obviously we have the highs, we have the lows, but we've been in such lows for so long now. And what do you think that's going to bring?
That's a really good question. It's one of the key things that we're working on as an organization. The biggest thing, just kind of, this is my own personal view. This is not Uber Freight's view. I think it's going to augment people, right? So if I'm a planner or a dispatcher at a trucking company, instead of having 35 or 40 trucks, you might be able to handle 60, right? If, from a telematics standpoint, if you have people that are tracking and tracing loads, well, the AI is going to be able to kind of do that for you and kind of in an intelligent way, tell the people that are managing the business, what's happening. I think intelligent insights, I think it could be a huge part. there's some really cool tech out there that are talking to to owner operators and drivers. That's really neat. We'll see how it goes. I think the one thing about AI and those types of technologies, they're moving so fast at such an incredible rate. I think the only thing that's going to slow it down is people innovating and not trying it out. Government regulation could eventually get in, but it sounds like the current administration, there's like, we want to be the AI leader in the world. Like, I don't know. It's moving fast. It's moving the change, and I think Dean kind of made the comment. I went from the dial phone to putting 15 people. Hey, can you hold? Can you hold? Can you hold? So that took over like 15 years. So 15 years with this AI turns into like 5-6 months.
Yeah.
So the innovation is like incredibly fast.
I'm looking for it to solve the problem between the transactional broking community and how truckers think. Because we, even at DAT, we focus very much on transactional, one load at a time, get the load moved, post a truck, post a load, do a freight match and get the load moved. That's not how truckers think. They're thinking 5 moves ahead. And that because their primary objective is to get home on Saturday for the family commitment. So I think with AI, we've got the ability and the data to understand freight patterns across the country. And it's a bit like, when you use your Uber app, right? So you could say, do I want the fastest car, the slowest car? We go into ways. Do I want the shortest route? Do I want no tolls? Do I want no scales? Or do I want the most amount of miles or the most revenue per mile? Like, give me options, but give me a week's freight movement optimization. Give me a number plan. I'll pick one and it'll change. But at least give me a plan for the week that's going to hit my revenue per truck target, not a rate per mile. And I think that's what that can solve, is because we get into this race to the bottom with rate negotiation, and there's winners and losers.
You're right. Yeah.
I think with that too, it kind of, you start going down the rabbit hole, right? So you start optimizing for a truck and you're hitting X amount of revenue per week, and then one week you don't hit it. So then it's like, okay, why didn't you hit it? So now you got these different columns that you have to solve, like appointments. How do you optimize appointments? So then you start going down that rabbit hole. So it's like, how do you optimize appointment? Well, you got to link in with the customer. How do you link in with the customer? You need APIs. So you just keep going down and down this rabbit hole, and that's just appointments. What's the next one? What's the next one? From a maintenance standpoint.
If you can do the integration, it has the ability to solve that problem. But it's like, it's always been the problem when you efficiency, goes to die when you hit a loading dock. And that's it. Like, you bump onto a loading dock, you make your appointment, next thing, efficiency just disappears. So if you can integrate, that would be great.
I think one thing that's maybe holding back the market a little bit from innovating even a little bit quicker is rate.
Yeah.
Once people have a little bit more capital, to kind of invest, like the Ubers of the world, we're investing heavily. There's some big, huge companies that are. Yeah. But once the rates get up where there can be more innovation, with smaller players in the world, that's really what's going to drive competition. Yep. And then it's, crazy things are about that. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey guys, we're going to move and bring some other folks on here and keep the conversation going. Before we do, Dean, what are you most excited about at Matt's, and where can everyone find you? What booth can everyone find you?
So we're at 37415, just up the way. My Peterbilt show truck's out in the very front row. I'm on the end. The really cool trucks are on the other end. So I'm about where I should be with my old 21-year-old Peterbilt. I'm excited about what's going on outside as much as I am inside, because that's how I take the pulse of the industry, by out there talking to the truckers. Saturday, very excited for Saturday when all the drivers turn up.
Yes, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff? What are you most excited about here, and where can everyone find you here at Matt's?
Well, I'll start with where you can find us. We're at the beer garden, so that's just put your nose up in the air and go find the beer. That's where we're at.
I told you there was a beer. I knew.
He told me about they had a 300 limit and it sold out in 30 minutes. So.
Yeah, it's like, wow. Like, we're trying to figure that out. We're like, wow. It's like a bunch of drivers. Like, you can't really drink that much, right? But apparently you can.
Yeah, you can.
But anyway, the thing I'm most excited about is, number one is owner operators in the carrier community. It's been through the ringer the last 3 years. And there's nothing better than being able to celebrate the owner operator and the sacrifices that the carrier community has made. and we wouldn't be here without them. So really appreciate all you guys. This is an event that celebrates that segment of the population, which is always underappreciated. But coming from Uber Freight, coming from me personally, I would say Dean would concur with us. Probably one of the best opportunities to recognize the people that should be, which are the drivers and the owner operators in the industry.
Yep, we appreciate you. We're going to get Nate to give us your info, so hopefully we can get you on our show
anytime
after Matt's here, man. Get a long conversation.
Love you guys. Anything I can do to help.
Awesome, cool, brother. Hey, Dean, we're going to come try to get maybe an interview with you tomorrow with your truck out there too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one, Dean. Thanks, brother.
Thank you guys.
All right, we're going to keep things moving along. We're going to bring on Nick. He is from Racetrack and Raceway stores. Nick and Gary. And Gary is a driver. Everyone knows Gary. Heavy Haul Hustler. He's been on our show. Before. So we'll let them walk on over here and get set up, and we'll let Nick talk about some cool stuff that they got going on. Racetrack is leaning into more of the travel centers, trying to catch some of that commercial business from the commercial drivers, opening up fuel islands and stuff like that. Nick, welcome. How are you, man?
Oh, thanks for having me, Pedro. Oh, no, it's a pleasure. This is my second year here with Racetrack at the Mid-America Truck Show, and it's always cool to see, how we're growing in this space. A lot of people know Racetrack is a C-store gas station, and a lot of people don't know that we have over 90 sites now with high-flow diesel. So it's just cool to get in this business. I myself, I've been in trucking for about 5 years now. So just cool to be in the same space, but just a different element, something everyone cares about, fuel.
Hey, so, you and I had talked a little bit ago, did a little short interview as well. And, I asked you, what are some things that make y'all different from, some of the other normal travel centers that there are, people think of the other ones like Pilot and all those folks.
Yeah, I think, we like to affectionately call it Splash and Dash at our business. Something that's really unique about our model is we're really just focusing on the fuel. At the sites we do try to offer paid parking, cat scales, stuff like that. We do have a really great inside offer too. Our hot food, our pizzas, killer. People like the frozen yogurt. So it's cool to see that. And, I think we're not necessarily going to be your showers laundry place, but we're there for you if you need us. So.
Yeah. And some of that group in Georgia, I love racetracks, and the know y'all are growing like that. I need them in Tennessee, and I need to check out where's the most local racetrack center to Matt's.
So Matt's would be our outer loop store. Most folks going up I-65 are going to hit us in Newtown, Shepherdsville.
Okay.
We have one Nashville, the Laverne area. So those are our travel center stores. Love it.
I like the term that you use with Splash and Dash, and I actually think that's something that's kind of missing from the travel centers with the truckers. A majority of them, they're made to pull the driver in to make them stay in there longer, to spend more of their money inside the store. That's why they got 3 hours of a bunch of mess that the drivers really don't need. A majority of drivers, when they're just trying to get their fuel, get a cup of coffee, maybe get something from a deli, preferably a good hot food with choices, not just hot dogs. So I think you guys are really actually going to hit a piece of the market that some of these other ones, aren't thinking about, some of these larger chain travel centers.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not trying to leave out the long haul guys, but it's I noticed a lot of more people want to be home nowadays, with their family, and I think we're really a good fit for those, regional local drivers. It's we have our place, and I'm really happy that we're kind of finding it as we go and getting ourselves involved in the space.
Yeah, awesome. Well, hey, Gary, you're a driver, man. You specialize with the heavy haul stuff. You've been a chauffeur. Everyone knows you. As a driver, what are the type of things that you're looking at for travel centers? Why you've got someone right here that can hear the stuff that you want?
From my sector of the industry, the whole thing is this. We want areas to either park an oversized load or at least be able to fit through the fuel island. So to be able to take that into consideration moving forward with future properties, or if you guys doing expansions and remodels, to be able to take that into consideration, it's getting very limited where we can actually get fuel as an oversized load. So I know, I get it that space is a big thing, on real estate. So a lot of pumps are only maybe 12 foot wide. If they're maybe 14, 15 foot wide and 16 foot tall in the awning, or even 15 foot tall, that makes a vital difference from us, and it's going to attract us to want to come in, splash and dash, as you just so called it, and get on out of there, or have at least a viable spot for us to park at night, regardless of a shower or not. If we need a shower, we could always potentially drop the trailer, go down the street to a Love's or Pilot, whatever, do our shower thing and come back. But having that viability, that's huge for us. And we're not, it's getting to become very limited. And I had even heard rumors, and I have not brought this to light yet, so we'll find out. So I'm going to be asking questions that even with some places, TA and Petro are reintroducing their security booths. I know that they did just put their new booths in back at West Memphis, Arkansas. They're only 10 foot wide. So now one of the largest parking lots coming into Tennessee or leaving Tennessee, we can no longer take oversized loads. And it's also, they're putting them back in Ohio and other locations around the country. So that really takes us out of the market at a travel center to get fuel from them, shower, food, whatever. We don't get that opportunity. So if Racetrack can take that opportunity and grow that, we would certainly appreciate it on our end of the sector.
You know, if I can chime in here, I definitely agree with that, man. I always hear this in like relation to new drivers too. Like they really like the wide lots just because they don't want to have to back out. Everyone wants to, you know, see if we can pull around, you know, and we try to make an effort. You know, I totally get what you're saying. It's for our sites, you know, we have our separate truck accessible entrances, you know, making sure it's a clear path. There's no, you know, I always like to joke like, oh, I'm a professional driver in the sense that it's really freaking hard to pull out of the lot.
Sure.
You know, and it's we try to make that less of a challenge. But I totally get what you're saying, Ben.
Or even make the last, you know, the last fuel portion of the island, make that last, you know, slot, make it wider, and put a sign above that says 4 oversized loads. Now, can others fuel there? Absolutely, they can. But at least we know that when we, you know, come to your racetrack, we can go to that far end. And you know, it gives us the accessibility to make that loop, get in there, and pull through and get out. Because there's, you know, we can't always back out, especially if we have a booster on the back, if we have a stinger on the back end, or if it's a perimeter trailer. It's harder to back out with those types of trailers than a conventional regular 53-foot trailer.
Well, never even knew that was an issue.
It's a
In the
huge
first
issue.
place. That is insane.
A lot of times we'll have to drop our trailers, say at a rest area, on an on-ramp, off-ramp. If we cannot fit through the fuel island, if we're so big, or if we're too long, we can't get into every single truck stop. So we have to be very calculated and have 4 to 5 potential places to stop along the way. And even if we get to one that's even big enough, but when we pull in or go to pull in and there's trucks all along the curb, we can't fit. So now we have to deviate, go back to our, you know, to our next plan, get back on the interstate and continue down the road.
So you're probably having to make more stops just in the consideration that you might not be able to find a place to fuel up.
We typically fuel once a day, and that's usually either early in the morning before we leave or as soon as we get done for the day. And we try not to fuel throughout the day if we can help it. But sometimes you have to because the spot where you're parking for the day, there is no fuel. So it is very calculated.
Gotcha. So, Nick, what are some of the things that Racetrack's doing differently in these spots? You know, you guys are expanding, you're growing the brand. You know, it's awesome to have you guys here. So, what are some of the things you are most excited about that Racetrack is doing, and what can we expect in the future?
Yeah, no, I know rewards programs like big keyword here. You know, what can we offer? So definitely trying to push a rewards program. For those of you that don't know, you can sign up for Racetrack Rewards and select professional driver as your profile. Throughout the year, we try to send you targeted offers, try to beef up the rewards there. And then, you know, I know we talked about Truck Driver Appreciation Week in September. You know, we're still working on the offer, but overall, like we expand that to Truck Driver Appreciation Month, and we try to give a hot food offer every week for free. No strings attached. It's free. You know, just want to say thank you. So,
well, we appreciate that a lot. You know, one of the things I come from a long bloodline of drivers. I'm a 3rd generation driver, so for me, I missed the days, and I don't know if it'll ever get back to this, but you know, you walk in and you fill up, or even have to fill up, you got free coffee. Nobody gives coffee anymore. It's just something as simple as coffee. Doesn't need to be a soft drink, but just coffee. If we can get to those days again, that'd be nice to be able to walk in and get a hot cup of coffee and walk out. And whether it's a refill, I mean, I get it. Paper cups are expensive, but maybe on a refill, maybe there's no charge for coffee in the future. That'd be nice.
No, for sure, man. It's like last year, for example, the offer, you just did a free hot food item and a free fountain drink have one free coffee for the month.
It's
people loved
nice.
it. Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, and you deserve it. It's like I feel like everyone's trying to sell you on something. And we were really just trying to show that we want to be a player in the space and say thank you and get involved. That's why we're at the show, honestly. It's like
Now,
let's go at base.
Is Racetrack going to be involved with doing, healthier foods like sliced fruits, salads, vegetables? Even though we're bigger people around here, we do like to eat healthy every once in a while. So it's nice to be able to have those options rather than, as Pedro mentioned, just a hot dog. We want to be able to have that deli selection of something that's a little bit fresher, something that's a little bit nicer throughout the day, lighter on the stomach as well.
Yeah, and it's on the note of that, like we do have our cold case, salads, sandwiches, and fruit and stuff like that. We're also trying to look at ways, like what's like a hearty median where someone maybe doesn't want a salad, but something not as like a hamburger or something like that. So like soup, things you can heat up and on site. And we're always looking for new ways we can kind of meet in the middle, where it's like it's a healthy option, but maybe something different you haven't thought of.
Now, will Racetrack add showers later down? Is that something that they're talking about?
Not at this moment. I think one of the benefits, of us being kind of a quicker stop during the day is like it's very clean. All our sites are so new. I mean, nice. 2018 is the newest or the oldest location, say, in Atlanta. And
that makes it nice.
Yeah, it's that's something I know a lot of drivers struggle with when they go to these other like national brands. It's just the truck stop, dirty, things like that. And we really put it. We work with our ops teams. Like we try to make it clean. The perception, like it's well lit, things like that. Really trying to help there.
Awesome. Well, I definitely look forward to visiting a few myself.
Good deal. Well, Pedro.
So
we got some people up next.
We do. We keep switching it up. Nick, appreciate you coming and hanging out with us, man. Thank you for meeting up with us. I'm gonna come. Hunter and I are gonna come over to your booth probably tomorrow, and we're gonna get some of that coffee and other stuff. And thank you for sending out the email and helping us
free
get all
roller
this set
dogs.
up.
Thank you, Racetrack.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
Oh. And a coffee.
Yeah, well, come on, I got media fountain.
Go ahead, have some Racetrack.
That's it.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Again.
Thanks, Gary.
Yep,
We appreciate
catch you
it.
next time.
See you tonight,
Yep.
brother.
See you, Pedro.
Later. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Next, we're going to get Neil and Phil. We're going to get Phil on the show. Come on, Philip. Come on. And Neil with Freight Ninja, a sponsor.
Oh, no way, dude. What's up?
I know, right? A minute.
Hey, it's okay. It's all right. I kind of blend in with the crowd, That's all. The headset part.
Yeah, man. We're podcasting or something.
All right, gentlemen, welcome. Phil, how are you doing, man? Tell them more about just quick about who you are, real quick, who you're with, and what you're doing here at Matt's.
Yeah, I'm Phil. I'm with Hammer Lift out of Dallas, Texas, and here meeting up with friends at the show. Went to the one in Houston. We met up in Houston.
Yes.
Man, I wanted to come to this one. I know Gary and other people are coming, and I'm like, I gotta catch up with some friends and see how people are doing and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. A lot of cool people here. Learning some stuff too. Learning what the load board is and everything. And I was like, man, why would anybody want to be a broker? I was like,
that's right. No more brokers. You don't want to do it. It's terrible. It's awful.
People stealing loads, double brokering.
Dude,
I'm like, good
left
night.
and right. That's why we got people like Mr. John Cantor back there. Stop the scam. But Neil, what's going on, brother?
No,
Thanks for building this house over our head.
I appreciate you guys coming and being in the booth. And, it's nice to finally get you guys.
Yeah. No, I'm
Exciting.
It's been a long time coming. Chris, if you're watching, Bane was going to give you a break, man. He wasn't going to rough you up that bad.
He is watching, I know.
He is, yeah. I bet he is. But, well, hey, fellas.
It's good to have y'all here. What's been your favorite part about that so far?
Well, the trucks. I still need to see some of the trucks outside, but it's probably the big part, right?
Absolutely. But Hammer, have you talked to Steve about Hammer?
Steve?
Yeah.
Dude, Steve totally on board, man. Steve can't wait to get a Hammer. If anybody doesn't know, Hammer manufactures the Hammer Lift. It's a self-loading chassis that lifts inside. People call it a side lifter.
Mm-hmm.
We refer to it as a side loader. Lifts 80,000 pounds from the side. 2 cranes, slide in for a 20, slide out for a 40. We produce them here in the U.S., right in Houston, Texas. We love to do demos for people. It's an amazing piece of equipment. Steve's interested, Gary. But it's for the right people. You got to have the right business for it. You can't just buy a tool and not have anything to do with it. So
Yeah.
if you're grounding containers, flat racks, or gen sets, chillers, or whatever, and you need a piece of equipment to help the business out, I mean, it's a game changer for sure. If you're in Houston, you got to come out and see one. I'm telling you, I'll do demos. I'll drive down from Dallas. I'll show you. I mean, Robert drove up from Killeen and saw one.
Yeah, I do that. Those things are amazing,
isn't
to
it?
see in to see in person. The fact that model you showed me that you can fold the legs out and you can drive a flatbed or back a flatbed trailer underneath it. And and you can set the container on it, then they can drive it right out. It's just crazy the thing is and how efficient it makes. Like you said, someone with the right setup and right business that can use that tool, but how efficient y'all system makes dealing with those containers in the yard, just in the yards at the customer site. Oh, I absolutely love seeing those things.
It's definitely a niche business. It's not for everybody in every situation, but if you're having to lift this equipment, if you're having to rent and mobilize mobile cranes, then definitely look into it. I don't know if it's the right piece of equipment for you, but it's definitely something to consider if you're having to rent mobile cranes often. Heck, in New Jersey, I don't know if anybody saw my LinkedIn post. You can go there and see it. Philip Milstead, Philip with 1L. But I was there doing training, and my customer called me in the morning. We're going to do training. He's like, hey, my container weighs 55,000 pounds. It just dropped over on my drop yard. The ground gave way, and the support legs, landing gear, just fell into the ground. And I was like, yeah, we showed up with the hammer, picked it up, picked the trailer and the container clean off the ground, backed up the new rig underneath, dropped it on the rig, disconnected the container, drove off with a bad trailer, backed up underneath.
Hey, I got a deal for you. So you drive one up to a Freight Ninja location in Memphis, and we'll do a demo there. What you think about that, Neil?
We could do that, or we got a yard in Houston too as well. So I mean, whatever is going to be easier for you, but we could do a demo on site.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I got a customer in Tennessee, I think in Nashville. They may have a unit. How far are you guys from Nashville?
I live like 5 minutes from this. I'm actually in the Nashville zip code, so dude, and it's such a small state. I'll drive 10 hours to see it. So.
Well, I've yet to make it to Tennessee, so now you're giving me a reason to make a trip.
There you go. Neil, it's about time I got a yard in Nashville too, man. I'll be the yard dog.
We're actually opening one up in Laverne.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're about to, or you just did?
About to.
Okay, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta let me know when the grand opening.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will be there. That's
Absolutely.
like 15 minutes from me. So
Yeah. All right.
that's sweet. That's sweet. But what's going on in the world of Freight Ninja? What's going on new? How things been? How's your match experience been so far?
I think it's been good. A lot of booth traffic, actually.
Yeah.
The guys are watching back at the office. We're running out of all of our stuff, so hopefully people are calling in and driving some business for you guys. But yeah, no, it's been good. Almost all of our stickers are gone. So I'm trying to ration all that, but some good conversations, learning where we need to get some yards at, and yeah,
man. I've even had some of your customers ride by.
Yeah, we did.
Man,
Actually,
shout out to y'all out there in Arizona, dude. That was pretty cool.
He was looking for Tommy. Tommy was the guy that built that deal in Glendale, and he stopped by and said hello. So it was pretty neat.
Well, excited for that. Freight Ninja in Tennessee, Hammer in Tennessee.
Let's go.
What's next for y'all? What you most excited for in the rest of your Matsy?
I don't know. I need to get a bigger bag because I have
a lot of free stuff.
I have 10 kids at home, and I got to fill it up, and I got to bring home enough goodies for all the kids to play with. So there's this guy over here. He makes like these weird. Sorry about that. He's got like these handmade wooden toys. Have you seen them? You rub the wooden stick across the back, and it makes. I bought one of those things. I needed to.
So you got that for yourself. What's about your kid?
Nothing yet. Just finding little trinkets, I guess. Yeah. If I come home and I don't have something for the kids, I'm gonna be disappointed. I'm gonna gather up all the candy I can get, throw it in the bag on the plane. Come home and dump it open like it's Halloween. Hey, you have that. Be thankful.
Well, Neil, what do you have anything you're excited about for the rest of Matsman? I mean, I know we're only on day one here, but is there anything you're looking forward to, or what the end goal might be for Freight Ninja here, besides getting more customers, of course?
Yeah, I think just getting our name out there some more. You guys are definitely a big help with that, have been, and as well as some of the other folks that are out there on the social media and all that, and really trying to put Freight Ninja on the map. truck parking obviously is a big issue. We know that. And we want to make sure that everybody knows who we are, where we're at, and what we can provide everybody. Obviously safe and secure is the first and foremost thing that we want to provide. So making sure everybody knows who we are. And if they know somebody that knows somebody that needs parking, Freight Ninja is going to be top of mind. So I think that's one of the big key things is to take away from last year, build on what we did last year, and do it for this year too. So,
Freaking that. I agree. All right. Before we circulate and bring on, we're gonna get Dale and let's see, Steve. You want to bring on Steve, or you want to bring on Dane?
Let's bring on Steve.
Let's bring on Steve and Dale. All right. But before we do that, Phil, you want to give yourself a plug before you get off, man? Tell everyone where they can find you and Hammer.
Yeah, hammerlift.com. Just go straight to the website. You can check out our units, what they look like. You can find me on LinkedIn. Like you said, it's Philip Milstead. It's Phil with one L. If you do too, you're not going to find me, please. It's one L. You mess it up. And find us there. I don't have the biggest presence, on social media. I did start an X account, but I'm not good at managing all that stuff.
Yeah.
I might have the wife to do it.
It's just because you're old, Phil.
I'll be 43 this year, and I can't believe it. My graduating class was 01. That was I feel I'm getting older.
You may not believe it, but you look it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you know. That you're welcome. Okay. We're still friends, though.
Have you passed 40 yet?
I am, man. I'll be 41 in July. Yeah.
Hurry up, Hunter.
I'm 30, man. I'll be 31 in April.
Hunter's got a while, man.
Well, you're prior military, though, right? I saw the picture. Yeah, you're in your uniform. Were you prior military?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw one of you. You're looking young, man. Young and thin.
I know, but the young and thin. That's right. Yes, exactly.
You always look back at the photos. You're like, man, I was something once.
Yeah, right. That's exactly the way it makes me feel. That is right.
Your wife pats you on the back and says, "It's okay, baby. You're still something today." Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Again.
Robert,
hey, you too, bro.
It's good meeting you.
Yeah,
thanks.
Dale, you want to hop on, man?
I got one thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that the first 10 people that come here or call in will get a free month wherever at any of our locations. Just use Matt's 2025. It's going to be a Matt's only discount. So call in 844-303-1505 or stop by the booth. We can get you quoted and parking for real quick. And we get free month.
Let's go. I love that. Love on top. Appreciate it. We appreciate you guys. Oh, God. Dale Prax, ladies and gentlemen.
Where you want me? Right here?
I don't know. You can sit wherever. Just don't hit me.
Pretty cool. The warm-up band just finished.
You want to come hang out, babe? Come on, hang out. Yeah. There we go. All right, we're gonna end it with Mr. Prax and the one and only Robert Bain here when he comes on. Dale, how are you, man? Oh, he ain't got his headphones on.
Yeah,
That's right, bro.
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you good.
All right. Yep. Speak nice line to that can right there.
That's what she said.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
Yeah.
All right. We're not going to start like this.
Yeah, we will.
That's how we're gonna.
You're so free.
This has been all day.
This is how we're gonna end
This
this.
is
been all
how I
day.
live my life.
Yeah.
Make it as awkward as possible. Always.
Love that.
And since she didn't provide a script, it's your fault.
Never scripted. Never scripted.
Nah, man. Shoot from the hip always.
That's right. Shoot. Yeah,
Say-
that's what I said.
Fun fact. Did you guys know that Dale and I are birthday buddies?
Oh, really?
Yep. We got the same birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. 316 gang.
Now you have to guess who was born first.
Fun fact. I was not born.
Yeah, you didn't come to my birthday. Why?
Just
Always
pulled
has.
out of the depths of hell.
Always has been, always will be.
Listen. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, baby.
Dale, what you got anything you're looking forward to with Matt specifically here, man? I heard the FMCSA had a really good bad talk a little bit ago.
They had some folks in there from
Are they still around?
Yeah, they're
Okay, just checking.
they had their leadership team in there, and I think they're going the right place. I've always said this. I bash FMCSA, but I don't bash the people that work there because their hands are tied in a lot of cases. So, and I've been known to be their worst enemy sometimes, but I'm also their best friend when they do things right.
But some people brought up some really valid points from the owner operator side that maybe they, while the talk was going on, there was a lot of chatter coming in, some loud chatter from the audience saying, "What are you doing about guys that can't speak English enough to be on the roads? What are you doing about prosecuting guys that we know are bad at what they're doing?" And it's as sad as it is. The answer is we're working on it. Well, imagine if I had my brokerage for 20 years and every time someone wanted a quote, I just said, "Hey, I'm working on it."
Well, you respond with I'm working on it, but actually work on it.
Yeah.
Wild how that works.
Yeah, we'll get around it tomorrow.
Yeah. So they're going to be on again tomorrow. I think it's like noon or something with talking about the modernization and everything. But there's a lot of work to do, and the sad part about it too, with any governmental agency, you're switching every 4 years who the leaders are. So by the time you get one policy in place, yeah, right. once you get a policy in place, people in place, then it switches again, and you got to go different direction. But the direction we're going now with the nominee that's up there for FMCSA is a former state police officer from Florida, so at least he understands enforcement. So maybe we push something through there.
Right.
That's what we need is enforcement.
For sure.
Absolutely. And that is insane to me that the FMCSA can't really do anything. Like you said, they have.
No, they don't have the jurisdiction to impose civil penalties unless it has something to do directly with safety. So but I don't understand it enough, I guess. But could you at least work with the other agencies that can do something? Right. I'm sure if I brought a gun through TSA, they're going to do something about it. TSA would.
Well, 13,910, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the FBI walking in on a local crime scene. The local police department would take care of it. The FBI is not doing anything. Yeah. And it just creates all these levels. You got to love the bureaucracy, right? Yeah. No. You got to create a job for a job.
No. We've heard reports that a load's been stolen, and the shipper will say, "We tracked the truck. We have a piece of gear and tracking a pallet. It's at this warehouse." They call the local police. "Sorry, it's not our jurisdiction. It's interstate commerce." So what can people do about it? All that does is cause the prices to go up in insurance. It causes the guys that can at least can afford to get ripped off are the guys being ripped off the most, the drivers. It all goes down to everything that happens in fraud affects the driver insurance. Can't do safety things right because they can't afford to buy tires because they have loads stolen. And that's when we got to get off our ass.
Yeah, you're right. It's just the same old story. That's what it is. It's just hit repeat. That's what it is. And
it's ultimately what. Let's say you do get caught. What happens? Nothing. Nothing. You're not going to jail. You get a little fine. Cool. You know what punishment by fine is? Legal for a price.
Yeah.
That's what that means. And so knowing that, the bad guys know that even if we get caught, we will start over again tomorrow. We've got 30 MCs on the shelf. I know if you're going away, but listen, it until you have not only all the different rulings, but also enforcement and actual enforcement. It has to be not only fines, it has to be incarceration. There has to be a level of make it scary. Listen, bad people are certainly bad things. They always are. But make it more difficult and make legit consequences for that.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was working on a case not long ago and said, okay, let's find out which law they're breaking, right?
All of them.
So let's start with the easy ones. Let's say a guy owns 5 MC numbers.
Okay.
If he doesn't disclose that to the FMCSA, that's a violation of law. So when he signs that application, it's perjury.
Correct.
So they did recently put somebody in prison for 5.5 years, and that's what they were able to find on him. It was perjury. The problem is that those 7 companies he's affiliated with is only the tip of the iceberg. There's another 10.
Correct.
And his wife or sister, somebody owns one. His mother-in-law owns another. She's 80 without a CDL, but she's the owner operator of one truck.
Yep. And what you have to really think about this, and this is where I think people get a little messed up, is that you have to think about this the way we thought about the mob. When they first brought in the RICO Act, right? How do you prosecute these people? They didn't actually pull the trigger, but they're responsible for this person getting whacked. So you have to think about it in kind of that mentality. And let's be real, we haven't had to do that in a few decades. And so it really is going to take hopefully somebody with a very strong law enforcement background who is going to push for the ability to enforce. And I know certainly right now that's probably scary for some people because this administration certainly is more heavy-handed with different types of enforcement right now, whether you like it or not, that is going on. So knowing that, we've done nothing for so long, we're going to have to do something extreme to right the ship.
And because it's taken so long, if you think back on when fraud kind of started, and if you're familiar with the WWE wrestling, right?
WWF.
Right,
Listen,
right,
they're
right,
WWF
right.
all day. I don't care about that lawsuit. They are WWF all day forever.
But it used to be like Lawler. It used to be like Jerry Lawler had Atlanta.
Mhm.
Vern Gagne had Minnesota. They all had their little circuits,
So,
right?
so this is all back in the regional days. This is like way before
Right.
even WWF. This is when it was Worldwide Wrestling.
Yeah,
This is when it's
NWA.
NWA. Yeah.
So that's how the fraudsters really started. It was all regional. It was Glendale, California. It was all these other places. But that's grown into a worldwide thing like the WWF. Now Vince McMahon's running all of it.
That totally tracks that Vince McMahon would run every theft ring that we have.
All right. Hey, we're going to end the show. Paul, do you want to come on up? No, you want.
I want to come on the show.
I know you just want to say one
I want
thing.
to come on the show and do one thing real quick. Sorry. And you should buy these too. This is hilarious. How do I?
Just go to logisticsloungeshow.com.
$87.99.
Yes, for you, $87.99.
For touch our phones, it's gonna happen.
Gingerly touch our
Buy
chest.
one. You should buy a hat.
Logisticsloungeshow.com. Or come to our booth. You can buy one.
Yes.
Thanks for the plug, Paul.
I love that I can just tear Pedro apart.
Oh man.
Broken paper.
Oh man.
It's so much fun.
Yes. Dale, do you want to give yourself any plugs before we let you go? And we're going to end it with bringing on our good buddy Grizz here in a second.
Sure. Well, like people say, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I tell people all the time, if you don't see me on LinkedIn in the last hour and a half, call 911. I was probably killed. But you can find me.
Were you unalived by the government?
But our website is www.freightvalidate.com or www. All those W's. What's your MC number?
WWF. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's going. WDE, WWE, Anyway, what's your MC number.com.
All right. Awesome. Mr. Bain, what about you?
So if you want to find me, you find me on LinkedIn, Robert Bain, Strongest Man in Logistics. If you want to watch the powerlifting journey, you can see it on at Bain316 on Instagram. Also find me at GLCS, rbain@glcs.net. Only last plug I'll give is be watching the internet, July 26th, 12:25. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Heard it here first. Maybe not here first. We heard it here.
You heard it.
Live from that. 2025, day one.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, Dale. Hey, Grizz, hey, whenever they move up, you guys can move in.
Come on in. Who's ready? How's it going, brother?
Not too bad. Not too bad. How's it going, boys?
Man, it's been a long first day.
Right?
It's been a short but long day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, walk a half marathon, shake some hands, do a lot of talking. All right, my voice started going, man. It's like I'm talking more today than I do in like a month. So
Right.
That is true.
But you got to do it for the love of the industry, man.
Exactly.
Love the show. How's your show been?
Not bad. Not bad. So we got a few episodes up on YouTube and whatnot, but I'm gonna try and get something set up for tomorrow. See what we can do.
Well, hey, you haven't been on the show in a while, Grizz. So, because you have been, why don't you update everyone, tell everyone who you are and what you guys are doing here at Mass, because y'all got a special mission kind of here for this year, don't you?
Right. So I haven't been on the show in quite a while. I was with a former organization, and now I am with an organization. It's called Brothers of the Highway TC, and we are a truckers club. And our mission is to bring back the brotherhood in the industry, get rid of that me first attitude in the industry, and bring it back to what it was back in the old school, like the old school days. You know, if you see a driver broke down, pull off, try and help them out, or if you're in the parking lot, just try and help him fix his truck while he's working on it. Backing into the back 40 and just busting out a grill and just grilling up and just having other drivers come in and just hang out, like it was back in the old school days of trucking. So we're trying to bring back that brotherhood,
That camaraderie, man, and or the brotherhood, as you said, that is probably the number one thing missing from trucking. I mean, it really is. It's even in the time that I drove, the decade that I drove, seeing how what the average driver was, how they acted, their attitude, how they treated their fellow drivers between when I started and when I ended, man, it was completely different.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, when I first started, people were still getting out helping each other back in, as you just used an example.
Yep.
When I ended, it was everyone sitting on the CB just running their mouth, you know, oh, look at that idiot, you know, so forth. So I say,
Right.
hey, you know, you act like you've never had a hard day backing in. So
Right. We all do. We all have that.
yeah, and I also think, you know, that lack of that brotherhood also goes into, you know, the thing that you usually come on our show and talk about, which is the mental health struggles, you know, not feeling that you have that connection with the other drivers out there, you know, and you can have those conversations, just maybe get the day off your chest, you know, again, it's something that's sorely lacking.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing that helps the most with us is, we've got our Discord server, which is primarily members only, but we do have our prospecting rounds. So if any drivers are interested in prospecting in, just go over to Facebook, look at our BOH family page on Facebook, and just keep an eye out for our next prospecting round. And, you know, you could potentially be a member of the club. But with our Discord server, that's really what it is. There's somebody in there at any point of the day or night. And if you need somebody to talk to, you know, you just tag them in chat and they'll hop in chat and just talk to you. You know, you're driving down the road and you're getting tired. You need somebody to talk to for that last few miles, that last push. We've got somebody there. All of that. So.
I
thought you were about to say something.
No, I thought you were about to say something. So,
but dude, truth be told, when I asked you about the show, I was talking about Matt. I didn't even know you had a show, but like, and I didn't even know you were part of the organization, man. But
yeah.
I love that mission. Like Pedro said, you know, it's like one of the biggest things that's the only thing I've heard from old school drivers, new school drivers, is just no love, no camaraderie, you know, no brotherhood. Right. People are taking videos instead of getting out, you know. Exactly. So it's like, and that's the biggest thing we frown on is you just sitting in your driver's seat recording that person.
Yeah,
getting ready
posting
to
it up on like Reddit or some shit saying
right,
it's funny. Like,
right.
It's not.
It's not. So that's our biggest mission is to try and get that brotherhood back.
I love that.
So what are like some of the things I'm trying to think of the word. The parts about being the brotherhood, man. You know what comes along with that? I heard you said, you know, for y'all's member only stuff. You know, is it just you guys being there, having the Discord server to talk to, and having someone to talk to, I guess, basically, or you know, you guys going to do events or stuff? You know, maybe like meetups. Or is there anything else that goes along with the brotherhood?
Yeah, so pretty much anyone's welcome when we do one of our meetups. We do have a meetup coming up in the middle of April in Las Vegas. It's our national meetup. And then we normally have 2 other meetups throughout the country throughout the year. It's welcome. Everyone's welcome. But with the Discord server, when you're a member, you have access to a little bit more within the server. It's the way our organization is set up is it's structured just like a motorcycle club because it's a truckers club. So, you know, we have our hierarchy, but other than that, it's not so much like a social club like you would think. You know, there's rules involved. So, and that's really what it is.
So is that what y'all's mission primarily here is? And that's just to kind of really start getting y'all's name out there because y'all are kind of new, right? You haven't been around very, very, very long with it, right?
Yeah, I think we're working on our 4th year right now. But yeah, we're really trying to get our name out there this year and, you know, just let everybody know that this is our mission and this is what we're here for. So,
what booth are y'all at?
It's 37660.
37660. What about social media? Where can everyone find y'all at?
All right, so on Facebook, we're on BOH Family. On YouTube, it's 2158 Rise of the Brotherhood. We're also on TikTok, but I always forget what the name of the TikTok is. And then we are also on, we have an Instagram, but we don't really post anything on it. I need to start working on that a little bit better. So primarily it's Facebook and YouTube. Oh, and that actually also, sorry, the podcast is actually on Spotify as well.
What about any other message that you want to put out, man? Anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I think that was about it. I really appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. It was good to see you guys.
That's great. Yeah, okay, we'll come catch you at your booth, man, and do something over there too.
Most definitely. See you guys.
Have a good one, man. Mr. Hound, you got anything you want to add before we get off here, or anyone else you want to pull on? I think we got everyone on our list that we had for today.
I'm ready for a cold beer and some food.
I am with you on that.
Yeah, kick the feet up for a little
beer
bit.
and some food. Yes.
And I gotta talk to every single person in this building, so gotta wet the old whistle. But,
All right.
how about yourself?
Man, hey, honestly, that's all I got. We will be back tomorrow morning, though, about 9:30ish. We're going to do Coffee with the Lounge with Spencer Squire, the founder of Road Dog Coffee. And we'll also do another 30, 45 minute, maybe hour-long show tomorrow afternoon as well. We'll do the same thing, have about, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people just come on and rotate some guests and talk about a multitude of topics. And with that, I guess we'll chunk the deuces. Mr. Hound, roll that beautiful bean Matt's footage.
The views and opinions expressed on this show by its guests are not necessarily those of Lounge Media Group or the show host. So if you sue someone, make sure it's the party responsible for hurting your feelings. Also, grow up, be an adult, and understand not everyone thinks like you. And that's okay.